Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Y'all know me already. I never hesitate to drag a company. Lyft, you are wanted in Out Loud court. You are about to be dragged. I started off Monday's show with saying Akademiks is this self-proclaimed personality that can never be canceled. Well, in today's breaking story, Akademiks has been banned from Twitch, dropped from Stake, and dropped from Happy Dad. Akademiks, it looks like you're getting canceled. Did some of y'all really think I was gonna sit back and let y'all drag me in the comment section? I'm coming for y'all and I got receipts. What up? It's Trent Out Loud and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Wednesday morning. Hump Day is finally here, which means we made it through Monday and Tuesday and the weekend is that much closer. All right, I have a great show set up for you guys today. We actually have a breaking story about Akademiks getting banned from Twitch and dropped from Stake and Happy Dad. In lead stories, rapper Dank is suing Lyft for denying her a ride because she's plus size. The White House has paused all federal grants and loans, and I will be addressing comments dragging me for yesterday's episode where I was talking about a news story from Donald Trump wanting to cancel Black History Month. In quick news, we're going to talk about Microsoft wanting to acquire TikTok, DeepSeek, Sexyy Red, Melania Trump, Chad Johnson, Vybz Kartel, Drake and Logan Paul, Rihanna, Thee Stallion, Lil Kim, Sukihana, and a U.S. senator wanting to deport Selana Gomez. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our breaking story. DJ Akademiks banned from Twitch and dropped by sponsors after comments he made to a young streamer. DJ Akademiks is facing serious consequences after his recent comments towards a young streamer. Twitch has reportedly banned DJ Akademiks, while Stake and Happy Dad has reportedly cut ties with DJ Akademiks. Now, for those of you who saw Monday's episode, I think it was episode 427, we reported on a story about DJ Akademiks and what happened to him over the weekend. He was on his stream and he had a young streamer come on and he started this whole horrible conversation with this young streamer. It was so bad that we didn't even play the video for you. You guys know we always play clips for you. It was just really bad, the things that he was talking about with this young streamer. And he got serious backlash for it. Now, over the weekend, he tried to defend himself on Saturday. It went horrible. To me, it made things even worse. Then on Sunday, he came out and at least finally apologized for it somewhat. But people still on Monday, and even me, literally were just like, you got to do better and at least apologize for this, because he always says that he can't be canceled because he's on YouTube and you cannot really go after somebody who's on YouTube when they're not signed to major platforms. And I've alluded to things like that too in the past where, 10 years ago, it was easier to cancel a personality who is, let's say, signed to a major record label, or if you're signed to a major distribution hub. And nowadays it's harder to cancel somebody. But I totally forgot, and I think maybe even Akademiks forgot, that he actually has sponsors. Yes, YouTube might not kick him off, but Twitch can ban him, which I'm going to read to you that he's been banned before, but also he has sponsors. He makes money from Stake and Happy Dad. I think he has some other sponsors as well too. So that is how you could arguably cancel somebody, right? So I found this online. I actually made some calls to people who know Ak, and I haven't got any sort of confirmation yet. Like I said, this is breaking, so things are developing. I'll try to follow up tomorrow and see what else we find out. But as of now, I found that, as reported by streamer bans on X, DJ Akademiks received a ban from Twitch on January the 20th, 2005, making this his fifth from the Amazon-owned platform. Any attempt to open DJ Akademiks' Twitch channel now leads to a message that's saying it's unavailable. And they showed a picture of what it says. It says Twitch partner Akademiks has been banned. So I don't know how long Twitch bans normally last. And if this is his 5th time, then like, I don't know if it really matters, because if you're just going to ban somebody and they're going to keep on doing things that go against your guidelines and your regulations. But I think the bigger story here is him getting dropped from Stake. Stake is a huge platform. I think they paid Drake like 180 million. I don't think Akademiks got nearly that much, but I'm sure he did get some money. So him being dropped from Stake and Happy Dad is a big, big move. Like I said on Monday, I think what hurt Akademiks the most is when he came out on Saturday, literally yelling at us on stream, defending himself, saying, I don't need anybody. I don't need to be on anyone's platform. You can't come after me. I'm Akademiks. I show people love. And I was like, dude, that was the biggest mistake you could have made. Yes, what he did with the young streamer is bad, 100%. But when you do something wrong, the next 24 hours is the most crucial part, because human beings, for the most part, are forgiving. You know what I mean? So people know that, hey, we've made mistakes, or, you know, people look at themselves as a shoot. You know what? I've made mistakes too. So I think most people are forgiving. It's really how you deal with things after. And I think that was Ak's biggest mistake. I said that on Monday's episode. So we'll see now that he is quote unquote getting canceled. You know, somebody said in the comment section on Monday, it's like, you know how you cancel somebody? Stop watching them. Yes, 100%. But I just don't think that that's going to have as big as effect on Akademiks, because people these days like to just tune in and stream things and don't even realize they're making somebody money streaming or clicking or even commenting, right? Like he runs Instagram page, and he has, I think, 4 million followers, and he's putting out stories. And every time people comment, whether it be bad or good, that's still an interaction. And he makes money off of that, right? Because he just goes and looks at his statistics, and he could go and say, hey, I get 1 million comments a month. I get this many impressions. This is how much I'm going to charge. So these days, backlash with personal people are really not as bad as corporations. So hitting him where it counts, in his pocket, that's the best way. And it looks like that's what's happening. So I'll follow up. Like I said, this is breaking. I'm sure there's going to be more developments as the weeks or days continue. So I will follow up and let you know. But things are not looking good for DJ Akademiks. And just for the people who are only tuning into this episode now and don't know who DJ Akademiks is, you know, I always like to give context. DJ Akademiks is, I would say, top 5 streamer right now. He's a huge YouTuber. And when Drake and Kendrick had their battle, which is arguably the biggest rap battle in hip hop history, they went pretty much through Akademiks. That his platform was the platform to go to. Drake would send him songs, and Kendrick Lamar, yes, wouldn't send Ak songs, but he dropped Not Like Us when Akademiks was on stream talking about Drake's Family Matters. So Kendrick literally, used Akademiks' platform to launch Not Like Us. That's how big Akademiks is in the music and hip hop culture. So again, just giving context, don't want you guys to think this is just some little streamer out there. Akademiks is a big, big, big personality in this world, content creation world and music world. So I'll follow up and let you guys know what happens to him. Our first lead story. Rapper Dank has launched a lawsuit against Lyft after one of their drivers denied her a ride because he says that she wouldn't fit in his car. The driver was apparently worried that his car wouldn't be able to handle her, and Dank says that is a form of discrimination. She says she's taking action against Lyft to fight for people and to change the world. She also says, if I stand for something, then I will fall for anything. Fighting for my community, my people, and to make a change in the world, not just for me, but for everyone. All right, so we have a clip for you guys. We have a clip from a news interview, and we have a clip from the actual incident that happened. And I have a lot to say about this story, but take a listen first.
So you really telling me I'm too busy to get in your car?
Yeah. And to be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
What I got to do with your tires?
Yeah, I got no space in the back because I've been in this situation.
So every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL it's called.
No, I don't ever have to order Uber XL.
Okay, so that was the clip of the actual interaction, okay? But listen to this interview that she did with a news station. And to me, this is the key part of the whole controversy. Listen to this.
Have you been in cars that size before?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that.
This is what's making me so mad about this story. Do you not think this woman knows the type of car that she could be in? Do you think this is her first Lyft drive? Do you think this is her first Uber drive? Like, give me a break. So many people in the comment section are being so mean to this woman, saying that like, yeah, I wouldn't let her in my car either, etc., etc., and all of these things, which I'm not even going to repeat. I think she knows what she is doing. If she couldn't fit in the car, obviously she would have ordered an Uber XL. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but in the first clip where he's like, oh yeah, my tires. Like, what about your tires? That has nothing to do with anything. Like, listen, I Googled this just for those people who are trying to hate on this person. Dank, sorry. So listen, I Googled how much weight can fit in a car, all right? How much can a sedan fit? A passenger car and sedan could take up to 800 to 1,200 pounds. An SUV and a crossover, 1,000 to 1,500 pounds. A mid-sized pickup, 1,000 to 2,000. I don't have to go on. 800 to 1,000 pounds. She weighs 400 pounds. This is half the weight that a car could take. Give me a break. Like I said, or like she says, she could fit in cars smaller than that. I really disagree with the people in the comment section saying they wouldn't let her in her car. This will have no effect on your car. I used to sell cars, all right? Listen, anyways, I'm just so mad at this story. I don't know if I'm more mad at the story of the driver or I'm mad at the people in the comment section saying they wouldn't let her in her car. What does this have to do with your car? This will have no effect on your car. I don't know how old Dank is, but she's clearly at least, let's say, 20, 25 years old. You don't think that she knows if she could fit in a car or not? Like, this is simple mathematics, man. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, this is not her first time. Like, I don't know what else to say. I just think that people are treating her so wrong over this. I'm really upset. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below about this, but I would completely 100% let her in my car. Even if I didn't have an SUV, if I had a smaller car or a sedan or whatever, if you could fit in the car, then I'm driving you, especially if this is what I do for a living. You are a Lyft driver. Your job is to drive people from point A to point B. Your job is not to judge people based on how they look and be like, oh, actually, no, I don't think you could fit. It's not like he tried to let her say, yo, come on in, open the door. You could fit in perfectly. Let's go. You didn't even try that. And I love that she recorded it. And I love that she is dragging Lyft. And I hope that she wins this case. I hope that she wins millions of dollars. I hope that this guy is fired. I am so mad over this. Let the woman try to sit in the car and then you can have an argument saying, hey, she couldn't come in the car. She clearly knows she could fit in the car. She clearly knows what she's doing. That's why she's using the app. Anyways, I'm very mad over this, as you guys can tell. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this. And I think that we should be a lot nicer to people, especially Dank. Our second lead story. White House pauses all federal grants and loans. The White House has placed a temporary pause on all federal grants and loans, which could impact the government's spending and programs that affects Americans. The director of White House Office of Management and Budget said federal agencies must temporarily pause all activities related to obligations and disbursements of all federal financial assistance. As a result, no new grants will be issued during this period. The freeze will not affect Social Security, Medicare benefits, or other assistance provided directly to individuals. All right, so when this came out, it was literally all over my timeline and people in the comment section were freaking out, completely understandably. So I wanted to do what I normally do and do more research and figure out what exactly is going around, what exactly is going on and how this is going to affect people. The thing that I saw the most was students saying, man, I just wanted to start school, or I was just about to start school, or I am in school. What does this mean for all of my loans? So one of the first things I found was this, and it says federal aid pause takes into effect at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The impacted is grants, loans, and other aids mentioned in the memo are foreign aids, DEI, Green New Deal, and woke gender ideology. Not impacted, Social Security, Medicare, and assistance provided directly to individuals. Here is something else I found that hopefully makes you guys feel a little bit better. It says the memo calls on agencies to submit to OMB detailed information on any programs, projects, or activities subject to this pause by January the 10th. More than 2,000 programs are under review. The information that agencies must send to administration leaders is laid out in a spreadsheet. It lists more than 2,000 programs and requires agencies to document whether each program has any funding related to undocumented immigrants, climate policies, or diversity programs. So what this means, I don't know if this is going to make anybody out there feel better, but what this means is this is just a pause on these 2,000 programs. And we would like for you guys to submit what your funding is, and then we'll decide if we want to continue to fund it. Again, I know this is not great for those 2,000 programs or anybody who's on those 2,000 programs. But again, like I said, I'm just trying to give you guys context. And I also have one more thing that might make you feel better. But just to talk about this, Donald Trump campaigned, and during his campaign, he said, listen, I want to cut government spending. So we knew that some government cuts were going to come. I think the thing that's shocking is the fact that we all just, however you got your news, whether it be on Instagram, social media, or news outlets, that it was just going to pause and then listen, now there's a pause and now you got to fight for the money. Normally how it is, they go and they sit down and they're like, okay, we're not going to continue this. I think it's the pause that's kind of like shocking to people. But the one good thing is, and I found this also to an article, it says, because the White House can legally pause but not cancel this funding, it would not notably reduce the 1.8 trillion budget deficit. Now, I'm not here to talk about the deficit, but I am here to tell you that just because the White House can pause, Donald Trump, yes, can pause, but he cannot cancel. So a lot of people now are going to court from these organizations and they're fighting against it. So if you're part of a program that has been paused, the good news, or I guess like this silver lining, is that the people who are the head of these programs are fighting for you. They're going to court, and the White House cannot just fully cancel it. There's a lot of things that have to go and fall into place. Trump can pause them, but not cancel it. So I hope that makes you guys feel a little bit better. I feel bad for those people who are affected. I'll read you one last thing quickly. The White House has released a new memo explaining that the pause on student loans and SNAP benefits is not across the board. In a question and answer portion of the memo, it questions, is this a freeze on benefits to Americans like SNAP and student loans? And the answer is no. Any program that provides direct benefits to Americans is explicitly excluded from the pause and exempt from this review process. Okay, so students out there, who was the most that I saw in the comment section, you will not be affected. But it's still hard to deal with for the over 2,000 programs that will be affected. We'll see what comes of this. Like I said, they will fight back in court. What I would like to know is the programs that get put back and get their money back, will it be retroactive? Because it's a pause, but let's say it takes, 2 or 3 weeks or even a month to get their money back. Will it be retroactive, or will they lose the month that it took for them to get their money back? If anybody knows, please let me know in the comment section below. Our third lead story. All right, I've been waiting for this. All right, yesterday we put out a story, and the title of the story was Trump Cancels Black History Month at Federal Agency, Whistleblower Lawyer Reports. Okay. I also went on to read the entire article, which I'm not going to do now. But in the article, it talked about Mark Zaid, who works for the government, and he alleged that Donald Trump was trying to cancel Black History Month. I'm going to play a clip for you, and you're going to see how I didn't even read the title, how MSN put out this article. I said, Donald Trump cancels Black History Month at federal agency, according to whistleblower lawyer. Just listen to how I put according, which means allegedly, according to somebody. People were dragging me in the comment section saying, this is not true. You need to do more research. If I read you guys an article that it's somebody saying something, alluding to the fact that Trump wants to do this, how is that not true? This is true according to this person. We report, and I'm going to play the clip for you in a second. We report stories all the time to you guys. This person is saying this. This person is alluding this about Trump. Does that make it not true? I understand that it might not be true that he wants to cancel Black History Month, but people are alleging to. Nowhere did I say it's fact that Donald Trump signed an executive order to cancel Black History Month. That's not what it is. And that's exactly why I read and I posted the entire article, because I didn't want it to seem misleading. It was literally, I read verbatim, word for word, the article, and I put the article as I read it. But I'm going to break down, and also we're going to fact check it, because I went to Yahoo before I even told you guys about this story, and I fact checked it. I'm going to read what Yahoo says about this. But before even the fact check, the story that we reported on yesterday was about Mark Zaid saying that he is telling us that that's what Donald Trump wants to do. I'm going to play the little clip from yesterday of what I read, and then we're going to get into Yahoo's fact check. Okay, here's a clip of what I said. Donald Trump cancels Black History Month at federal agency, according to a whistleblower lawyer.
According to a whistleblower lawyer.
Another thing that I want to just address quickly before we go over to Yahoo, how come nobody said anything about the other story we talked about Roland Martin, when Roland Martin was saying, and I actually played a clip from Roland Martin saying that Donald Trump wants to release, he thinks that Donald Trump wants to release Martin Luther King's documents, to declassify Martin Luther King's documents, because he thinks that Donald Trump wants to make Martin Luther King look bad. He's saying that the unclassified documents are going to talk about him having an affair and not being faithful to his wife and all that stuff. How come y'all didn't drag me for that? Like, I don't understand. You guys pick and choose. We tell you stories all the time. Oh, this person is saying this about Jay-Z. This person is saying that about Donald Trump. We are a fair podcast. I say it all the time. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. I am not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm in the middle. This is a purple podcast. If somebody is going to say something about Donald Trump that they think that he might be alleging to want to cancel Black History Month, we should be allowed to do that. The same way how we tell you stories about Kamala Harris or about Joe Biden. And the funny thing is, sorry, I know I'm going off on a little bit of a rant, but the other thing also too is that what I find funny, and please go back, it's literally on YouTube or podcast. You could go back and listen to it, episode 429. After I read the article, I didn't even talk about Donald Trump wanting to cancel Black History Month, because I know it was just according to Mark Zaid. I just literally continued talking for the next 5 or 10 minutes about DEI and about, you know, what I said on episode 428 about how DEI is supposed to be inclusive for everybody, and, you know, why more people are not supporting the fight against DEI. I'm not going to get into it, but I was saying that more women and people from the LGBTQ who benefited from DEI should be trying to have it re-implemented. And I also said, I also understand the people who don't like DEI, because that's who I am. I understand both sides. I don't have to necessarily agree, but I understand both sides. So I just find it unfair that I was dragged for reporting a story that wasn't true, when the fact is that Mark Zaid says that he believes that this is what Donald Trump is trying to do indirectly with DEI programs. And when I read the entire thing, anyways, let me read the fact check for you, which to me proves my point why it was right to report that story. Okay. So fact check. Did Donald Trump cancel Black History Month? Claims that Donald Trump or executive orders of the president has canceled Black History Month appear to stem from a post from Mark Zaid, a prominent lawyer in Washington, D.C., who has represented federal government employees and whistleblowers. In an X post on January the 23rd, Zaid commented that CI employees were told that all resources and affinity programs are canceled. He continued, no Black History Month or MLK celebrations or any other ethnic recognition months. A day earlier, the Trump administration ordered that all federal employees in DEI roles be placed on paid leave and eventually laid off. While it's plausible Trump's executive order may lead to the chilling effects of the celebration of Black History Month around the nation, there is no official order of directive to literally cancel Black History Month from President Trump. Neither of Trump's anti-DEI orders explicitly mention Black History Month. Now listen to this, okay? The Grotto did not receive any official response from the White House after inquiring about whether or not the administration had moved to end the observation of Black History Month. Also in this Yoo-hoo fact check, they also put out this statement from Representative Jasmine Crockett. While some have tried to cancel Black History Month, this is not going to happen in our office. So what does this mean? It means that there is speculation from Jasmine Crockett and also Mark Reed, which I read to you guys yesterday, that Donald Trump is trying to cancel Black History Month. Nowhere in yesterday's episode did I say, or did the article say, there was an executive order of him trying to do it. What they're basically trying to say indirectly is all these DEI programs and all of these things that he's trying to cancel, he is trying to also indirectly cancel Black History Month. That's exactly what I read yesterday, and that's exactly what this Yahoo fact check is saying. There are rumors people are saying, and I gave the example of Roland Martin saying he thinks that Donald Trump wants to release these declassified papers on MLK to make him look bad. That is what people like us do. We tell you guys, hey, people are saying this, people are saying that, and then it's up to you guys to determine how you want to take it. We report the news, and specifically when I do stories like this, that's exactly what I read detail to detail. Anyways, just have to go off on a little tangent there because, hey, when people accuse me of not doing research, we do our research and we're a credible source of information. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And let me know, sound off. Do you guys think that Donald Trump wants to cancel Black History Month? And do you think that he's trying to mask it in all of these DEI efforts and cancellations that he's trying to do? And please also go over and listen to episode 429. All right, let's go back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. President Trump reveals Microsoft is in talks to acquire TikTok. All right, according to AP News, President Donald Trump said Monday evening that Microsoft is among the U.S. companies looking to take control over TikTok to help the popular app avert an effective ban that will kick in April. Trump said, I would say yes, he told reporters when asked about Microsoft as one of the companies interested in bringing about new ownership of TikTok. Trump added that other companies are also interested in purchasing TikTok, but he wouldn't provide a list. I like bidding wars because you make the best deals, Trump said as he spoke to reporters on board Air Force One while flying back to Washington from Miami, where Republican House members were holding a conference. Microsoft declined to comment. Representatives for TikTok did not immediately respond to a request for comments. So I actually really like this idea. Microsoft doesn't really have skin in the game. What I mean by that is TikTok has their social media app. Meta has Facebook and Instagram, where Microsoft doesn't have anything. For those of you who don't know or haven't followed the show regularly, we've talked about this a couple of times. The most important thing that TikTok has going is their algorithm. It's been said that they have the best algorithm in the business, which is why they don't want to partner up with anybody, because if Elon Musk gets their hands on it, or if Mark Zuckerberg gets their hands on it, they lose their edge. Well, selling to Microsoft might be really good because, like I said, they don't have any skin in the game. So I really like this. The only thing about it that I don't love is that the fact they don't have any skin in the game, it means that they don't have really that much experience. But I think TikTok has enough experience. So if you just let Microsoft own it, but you still let TikTok employees run the app, I think it will do well. But let me know what you guys think about Microsoft owning TikTok in the comment section below. Our second quick story. China's latest AI model wiped out $1 trillion from US tech stocks. DeepSeek, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, DeepSeek, latest AI model has sparked a $1 trillion rut in US and European technology stocks as investors are questioning the bloating valuation for some of America's biggest tech companies. DeepSeek's latest AI model, R1, became #1 on the App Store over the weekend, presenting a viable challenge to costlier models like OpenAI and raising questions over the hundreds of billions in planned spending for the tech giants. Somebody tweeted out and said, DeepSeek is crushing the US stocks. NASDAQ 100 futures are down 1,000 points, set for their biggest drop since September 2022. And then NVIDIA has erased 400 billion in market cap today, the biggest loss of any stock in history. Craziness. All right, I'm not one to know too much about AI. I'll lean to, like cryptocurrency, when I don't know about stuff, I lean to you guys in the comment section to tell me about it. But I think what the bigger issue is here is people like Donald Trump has just put out or signed an executive order sending and spending billions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars on AI. And here you have DeepSeek coming out and saying, hey, we spent $5 million and we have an AI model that is going to rival these other AI apps that you guys spent billions of dollars on. So have you guys just been lying to us? Does it really take these billions of dollars? Or do these AI companies that we've invested all of our money into, do they not know what the heck they're doing? And this company, DeepSeek knows what they're doing. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm sure you guys are going to comment below. Again, this is not a knock on Donald Trump. Not saying that, please. I've had enough with yesterday's comments, but it's not only because I just want to be clear. It's not only Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. Well, they're pretty much all in the same bucket now, but even OpenAI, they say they've been spending billions of dollars. So have they been saying they're spending billions of dollars just to, get more investment and, show that they're spending this money and they're really not spending this money? Remains to be seen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our third quick story. Selena Gomez responds to U.S. Senate candidate who calls for her to be deported. Selena Gomez responds to U.S. Senate candidate Sam Parker from Utah, who called for the star to be deported after posting an emotional video speaking about individuals getting deported amid Trump's executive orders. Parker has received backlash for his comments. Selena Gomez is a United States citizen who was born in Texas, and she served as an executive producer in the 2019 Netflix documentary Living Undocumented, which followed the lives of immigrant families facing deportation. So this is what Sam Parker tweeted out. Selena Gomez picked illegals over Americans because she's a third-generation descent of American illegals who received citizenship in the 87 amnesty. She has an entitlement attitude towards America like her immigrant parents. Maybe Selena should be deported too. Selena wrote back and said, "Oh, Mr. Parker, thanks for the laugh and the threat." All right, we reported on this yesterday. We played the video of Selena Gomez crying, and I'll say the same thing yesterday. I'll say the same thing today as I said yesterday. Selena Gomez's video or her statement that she made wasn't about Trump's policy and if she likes it or not, or that you shouldn't be deporting people who have done it wrong in the country. She was just crying, saying, "I feel bad. I wish there was more I can do." And she even put in her stories, wow, you cannot even be empathetic to people anymore. For me, her cries and her statement was just more about her being sad of what's going on. And it wasn't like some people saying, and again, I'm not disagreeing with either side, but there's some people who don't think that Trump or ICE should be deporting these people at all. That wasn't her statement. She's just saying, wow, I feel bad. And I don't think that's wrong for somebody to feel bad, especially somebody who comes from descent of somebody who is Mexican. She has, an attachment. She can understand what these people are going through. Like I said earlier about Trump, or whenever time I speak about Trump, not everybody is literally against Trump. Just because somebody has feelings or feels bad for somebody that's going through this, yes, we totally understand. They're here illegally. And I don't think there's anything wrong with deporting people who are here illegally who have committed crimes. I don't think much people will have a problem with that. I don't think the Biden administration will have a problem with that. But I just think that Trump supporters should have a little bit more grace on the people who are just empathetic to what they're going through, even though they were wrong for coming here in the first place illegally, and especially those who did things. But it's real. I don't think there's anything wrong with people feeling sad that they have to go through this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But I like how Selena Gomez handled this. I just like how she is handling it. Not picking a side. I just like how she handled it. And she said, like, how she laughed and said, ha ha, Mr. Parker, thanks for the laugh. So shout out to Selena Gomez. Our fourth quick story. All right, Sexyy Red with a tweet. She said, so y'all wouldn't let me file your taxes with a question mark. She has herself in this suit. And I think the reason why people are talking about it so much is that we've never seen Sexyy Red like this. For those of you who are not watching this on YouTube and not seeing this picture, Sexyy Red, it looks to me like she looks like she's probably in a photo shoot, and she's probably just trying on different looks and wanted to tweet this picture out. She has blonde hair on, which is something that we're not used to seeing. She also has her red hair. Actually, lately she hasn't had her red hair that much. Anyways, this is a really good look. Y'all know I'm a big Sexyy Red fan. This is a good look on her. But no, Sexyy Red, I would not let you do my taxes. I know you're joking, but I still wouldn't let you do them. Our fifth quick story. The White House has released First Lady Melania Trump's official photograph for President Trump's second term. All right, in the caption, it says First Lady Melania Trump's official White House portrait. I actually like the look. I do like the look. I'll put the picture up here now so you guys can take a look at it. Let me know what you think. This reminds me that Melania Trump's Amazon series or documentary is coming out soon. And I would like to know more about her. A couple of weeks ago, I told you guys, I don't think we're going to be let in much. Apparently, it's supposed to be her life with Donald Trump. And I really don't think her, Jeff Bezos, and Donald Trump are going to let too much tea out. But I definitely do want to watch it. But yeah, what do you guys think about Melania, man? Like, I like the look. I like her outfit. I actually really like the hat that she wore at her inauguration. Kim Kardashian actually got some smoke for retweeting that out. Also because it was Martin Luther King's Day, and people were like, listen, let's not even get into that. Yeah, I like this picture. I think it's dope. I don't know how I feel about Melania Trump. I just feel like I don't know how to feel about her because I don't know enough about her. We don't hear her talk as much. Like other first ladies, you get to know them, whether you like them or not, right? Whether it be, Bush, Clinton, or Obama, we know first ladies. We just don't know enough about Melania Trump. But I'm intrigued, and I like this picture. Our sixth quick story. Chad Johnson says he's still getting married next month. He just doesn't know to who. Chad Johnson says he's still walking down the aisle in February, even after he reportedly calls it quits with his boo back in October. Here is a clip. Take a listen.
Am I still getting married in February? Yeah, absolutely. Now, I don't know who I'm going to get married to, but I'm getting married in February.
You know what Ocho Cinco is going through? The same thing that I'm going through. I told you guys this, I think it was like last week. You need a Valentine. Whenever February comes around, that's when single guys who, for the most part of the year, have no problem being single. And I said, Valentine's Day and the holidays and on your birthday, it sucks to be single. Yes, you can go out on dates. Yes, you can meet people, but there's nothing like having like your Valentine, like having your girl on Valentine's Day. It's just nice. And like I said, also too, like on birthdays and holidays, it's just something about somebody that knows you, that you knows them. I'm still a proud member of the single community, but I feel like I'm going to be lonely on Valentine's Day, and it sucks. That's exactly what Chad Ochocinco is going through, and reason why he doesn't want to admit or accept that, he broke up with his girl in October and they're not getting married in February. I think he's just making a little joke, but we'll see. We'll see if he gets her back, or maybe this is a plea to get her back. Who knows? But good luck, Chad. Our 7th quick story. Vybz Kartel has reportedly been granted a U.S. visa. Shout out to Vybz. There's no article, there's no write-up here. I think this is probably because he is nominated for a Grammy, and I have told you guys, I think it was a year, last week or the week before last, that he is trying to get a visa to come to the country. For those of you who don't know who Vybz Kartel is, legendary Jamaican artist. We've talked about him on the show a bunch of times. I was supposed to go with Mars to his concert for New Year's Eve. Shout out to Mars. But I chose not to go because I had the New Year's Eve party at my house here. But we had backstage passes, press passes, and everything. Vybz Kartel is a full-on legend. I actually went to Buju's Long Walk Freedom when he got out of jail. I went to his concert. That's really why I wanted to go to Vybz. Anyways, y'all know I'm a big Vybz fan, and I'm glad that he'll be coming to the U.S. I wish I could have caught him in Jamaica, but at least now we could catch him in the U.S. It's nothing like a Jamaican party or concert, but anyways, I'm just happy that he's here, and I hope to see him on the Grammy Awards. That's basically what I was trying to say. Jeez, I get so chatty sometimes. Shout out to Vybz. Our 8th quick story. Jake and Logan Paul are set to fight each other March the 27th on Max. Jake Paul and Logan Paul are officially going to make it happen. The two will seemingly square off against each other March the 27th as part of Max's first ever boxing event. All right. I don't know if there's going to be that much hype about this. Normally when Logan or Jake fight, it's against somebody else, like a real boxer, like Floyd. Was it Logan who fought Floyd Mayweather? I think. Anyways, Jake just fought Mike Tyson. So that's really what it's really all about, right? It's these YouTubers who started out as YouTubers. Shout out to my YouTubers. They started out as YouTubers and made a name for themselves in the content creation world, and they kind of got spilt over into the boxing world. That's the allure about it, right? So the fact that the two of them fighting, I really don't know if this is really going to be a big deal. I know it's Max's first streaming event, but I mean, even how big is Max? The fact that this is not on Netflix or on a bigger platform just really tells you. But let me know, my boxing fans, or if you guys are just Jake or Logan Paul fans, let me know. Are you guys excited to see them fight? I don't know. I'm just not that excited. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Our 9th quick story. Rihanna does not want you to make her a love song. She thinks it's corny. All right, she's allegedly taking shots at you know who, but I'll let you listen to Rihanna herself and you can figure it out. Take a listen.
Love song or love letter?
Ugh, please never make me a love song. That is corny. Trust me. I've seen it.
All right, I don't know where this comes from. It's some interview on some magazine, but we all know she's talking about Drake. She thinks Drake is corny. But maybe this should have been a question of the day. Like, ladies, what do you think, or what would you rather? Would you rather a love song or a love letter? I think because Rihanna is an artist, she doesn't want a love song, because I think if I wrote a song and performed it for my girl, she would love it and she wouldn't think it's corny. I just think if you're in the music industry and you're a music artist, then you would think it's corny. I don't know. Ladies, you let me know. But I've signed to girls and they love it. Anyways, I'm not an artist. Our 10th quick story. Megan Thee Stallion has TikTokers puzzled about her lyrics on Nasty featuring The Baby. All right, Megan Thee Stallion's lyrics from Nasty featuring The Baby is going viral on TikTok as people are trying to perform her lyrics. All right, we're going to try to keep this as PG as possible. Her lyrics are one leg on the headboard and the other one is on the mattress. For those of you who can figure it out, you can figure it out. I'll put up a quick picture and I'll play a little clip from a TikToker. I won't lie, I ran to TikTok to see this, and it definitely is trending out there. There are a bunch of different versions, which we cannot play for you guys because it gets a little too over PG. And this is a family show, all right? Anyways, here is one clip that I found that was suitable to play. Take a listen.
I put one leg on the headboard, leave the other leg on the mattress.
All right, that's enough. Let's move on. Our 11th quick story. Lil Kim playfully thanked for LA rain following viral monsoon comments. All right, you remember when Lil Kim put out this and she said, been sending strong prayers up for LA and everybody affected by the fires. This is heartbreaking. I pray that there is a monsoon in LA soon. All right, so a lot of people were like dragging Lil Kim when she put that out. We covered the story and was like, listen, we understand that a monsoon is not good. We get it, but she just means she hopes that it gets wet. So for those of you who don't know, LA right now is experiencing a lot of rainfall. And I heard that some people said they are actually getting a monsoon. So somebody tweeted out and said, it's raining in LA. Everybody thank Lil Kim. So I'm not even going to read to you what Lil Kim wrote before, but shout out to LA. You know what? Whenever there is something like that goes on, that's brings national attention, everybody talks about it, every media station covers it, and then you don't hear about it. I have people out in LA I'm in regular contact with, and it's going to take months. So just wanted to send a shout out to LA. We haven't forgot about you. We're still thinking about you, and we wish you guys a speedy recovery. Our 12th quick story. Sukihana and her new man accused of being broke and lands on do not rent list. Sukihana and her new boo are being dragged after ending up on the Do Not Rent IG page. According to the post, they allegedly damaged a rental car, refusing to pay a $1,800 repair bill since January, and even threatened a defamation lawsuit. The owner claims they've been disrespectful and unresponsive. Did you guys know that there was a Do Not Rent IG page? This was what was more crazy to me than anything. I didn't know that. I did check out this page, and it's really real. It's actually legit. We told you guys about this, I think, last week with Sukihana being broke, and people are saying that she's living with her boyfriend's mom in LA. And I told you guys then the same thing I'll tell you guys now. I'm telling you 90%, 95% of these artists that you see on TV don't have money. Even actors and actresses. It's only the elite ones that are making the millions of dollars. So just because you see Sukihana and you see her pop it out in a couple of videos and you see her on Instagram pages, doesn't mean she's balling out of control. Most of these people, trust me, are not making the money that you think they are making. So this comes as no surprise to me. However, that being said, if she did damage this lady's car, I'm sure she does have $1,800 to pay her, and you should pay her back, Suki. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, I really like this question. Has Donald Trump changed the language of politics? All right, I got this from Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club. Shout out to Char. And whenever he talks about Donald Trump, whether it's, positive or negative, he always credits Donald Trump for changing the language of politics. And it got me thinking, I'm always on blogs and always on music sites and these entertainment sites, and I see more and more these entertainment and music sites talking about Donald Trump. And I really do think that we should give him credit, whether you like him or not, for changing the language of politics and making the conversation happen in the younger generation. And I think he did that by changing the language of politics. Back in the day, nobody really cared about politics, but also the reason why is because the way that it was spoken about kind of just went over your head. Most of the people who are in politics are lawyers, right? Or they come from that cloth, and they could talk in such a way that we don't even understand what's going on. And I feel like Donald Trump, that's why he resonated with a lot of a younger demographic, and a little bit Barack Obama as well too, but really Trump. He speaks in a way that everybody can understand what's going on and then draw your own conclusion. Like I said, sometimes it backfires. There's a lot of people who don't like Trump, but just the way in which he articulates and doesn't speak over your head and speaks directly to Americans is I think one of the reasons why he gained so much popularity. And also him going and talking to podcasters, YouTubers, and streamers, I think helped change the language of politics too, where you don't have to sit down and talk to 60 Minutes and sit down and talk like this. This is Dan Rather reporting from 60 Minute News, or only talking to Fox or only talking on CNN or MSNBC. He still appears presidential. He's always in his suit. He's always whatever. But the language of politics has become very, I don't want to say normal, but I can't figure out what the exact word is, but I just feel like he talks to the everyday American and not only talking to people who are on the political or spectrum. So I really think that he's done a good job. And y'all know me. I love a democratic society. And the great thing about a democratic society is for everybody to be involved. So I love that I open up these entertainment blogs and they're talking about Donald Trump and they're talking about Kamala Harris and they're talking about Joe Biden and they're letting us know what is going on. I'm telling you, back in the day, I'm talking about the days of like World Star Hip Hop and, this is 50.com and allhiphop.com. Like they never talked about politics at all. Like maybe around election time. That was it. But now every day I'm not on a blog that is not talking about entertainment. I'm not on an entertainment blog that is not talking about Donald Trump. As you could see, I put it in my show too. This is an entertainment and viral podcast. So at least I have the viral part where we could talk about, trending news. When I started this podcast, I always knew that I liked the political spectrum. So I always allowed room for it to be in my podcast. But at the end of the day, this is an entertainment podcast, right? But anyways, shout out to Trump. Let me know if you guys think, or if you guys agree with this. It is a discussion. Do you think that Trump has changed the language of politics and brought in a younger demographic? And again, like I just said, a little point, I do think Barack Obama being the first Black president helped bring in some of the entertainment or music genre, but I still think that he didn't talk in a way that Donald Trump is talking. The words that he's using and the things that he's saying, even the kind of negative things that he says about Joe Biden, right? He's like, I heard him today. He's like, he was a disaster. You know what I mean? Like people didn't say that 15 or 20 years ago, but he's like, Joe Biden is a disaster. He had they didn't talk like that. And again, whether you agree with it or not, I'm not saying that Joe Biden was a disaster, but the fact of Trump being able to use the same words that we use at the barbershop, on the basketball court, talking amongst your friends, whether just be in the backyard, Trump talks like how we talk when there's not a camera in front of us. And I think he's done a good job of letting more people into the political spectrum. More people are voting and more people are talking. And that is what a democracy is. So shout out to Trump for that. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What is the most beautiful feeling in the world? Keep it PG, y'all. Somebody says, when you try to fit in a pair of jeans. All right, that's definitely from women. I do like to fit in a pair of jeans, but when do I don't fit in a pair of jeans? I mean to say I like when I have on a new pair of jeans, but I don't ever have to fit in them. True Stay 82 says, being in good health and having a relationship with God, for sure. Freckle Beauty says, to receive the same amount of love you give. That is definitely nice. That's exactly what I was saying about Valentine's Day. Somebody says, your prayers being answered. Definitely a great feeling. Somebody says, when you see payment received. That's a good one. A month of 3 paydays. Very good. Self-worth. That's a good one. Loved and being loved. Hearing your baby cry after giving birth. I wouldn't know about that, but I for sure know it must be a great feeling. Finding peace after such pain. That's a great one. Direct deposit. Direct deposits are nice, huh? You just look and be like, woo, thank you, YouTube. Love that. Somebody said, finally losing all attachments to the people that are not good for you. Woo! I love that. That is underestimated, man. Finally losing all attachment to people that are not good for you. The reason why that's important is that when you have a friend that you've been with a long time or even in a relationship, it's hard, right? If you break up with somebody, it takes a couple of months, depending how long you are with them. Actually, I learned in therapy, for every 5 years that you stay in a bad relationship or stay with somebody that's not in a good relationship, it takes you a year to get over that person. Or was it my aunt that said that? Anyways, I don't know. Somebody told me that. But anyways, yeah, we're staying in a situation for a long time. It takes a while to get out. But when you realize like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this person in months or weeks, that's such a good feeling. Anyways, I just went off on a little tangent there. Somebody said a great feeling is somebody actually loving you unconditionally. Whew, that is an amazing feeling. Being valued for the first time. Yep. It's those first times when you're just like, whoa, you know, great feelings. I like that most of these are about like emotions and feelings, and it's not like getting a new car or buying a new house, right? Love that. Accomplishing something that you've worked for. That's amazing. Amazing. Like I talked about in episode 400, like me having that day where my podcast just took off after a year and a half of working, you know? Yes, accomplishment after something you worked so hard for. Love that. Somebody said getting closer to God, for sure. Being loved, appreciated, and respected. Somebody said my son. Taking a rubber band off of cash money. I knew there would be somebody that made a comment like that. Peace is the most beautiful feeling. Woo! Yes, let's end it off with that. Peace is the most beautiful feeling. This I definitely learned in therapy, where my therapist was, you know what? Practice being bored. Make yourself comfortable being bored. And I'm a person who literally hates being bored. And I tried to do that. And what he was trying to show me is how much peace is there in being bored. You know, when something goes wrong in your life and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just be at my house and relax and be chilling right now. Well, you don't realize that when you're bored because you think you want to go out and do something, but you go out and do something and something could happen. So just find peace in the fact that you have peace. So some weekends might be bored. Yes, it's snowing. Well, here in Canada, you know what I mean? Like it's snowing, the weather might not be bad, it's cold, but just be happy that you have peace in your life. Like it's amazing that there's nothing going wrong in your life, and appreciate that, you know? Anyway, let's end it off with that. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think is the most beautiful feeling in the world? All right, this brings us to sports news. The Miami Heat have reportedly suspended Jimmy Butler indefinitely. This is crazy, man. The Miami Heat is trending after news broke that the franchise is reportedly suspending Jimmy Butler indefinitely. Per sources, ESPN reports that Butler was set to return to the court on Monday against Orlando Magic after serving a 2-game suspension for missing a team flight. The Heat planned to have Butler come off the bench, but sources said Butler responded to the news by walking out of a Monday morning shoot-around. In response, the Heat decided to make Butler's return from the suspension indefinite. All right, we've reported on this a couple of times already, where he keeps on getting suspended because he doesn't want to be there. Oh, maybe I should read to you at the end here where it says that they are working on, where is it? They're working on his trade, but obviously you should be able to let him play while you're working on the trade. The end says Butler has requested a trade, and the Heat have said that they are working to find a deal, which would need to take place by the trade deadline, which is February the 6th. Butler seemingly responded to the news on his Instagram page. Well, he put on in his Instagram page that he's jobless. But anyways, there has been many of players that have wanting to be traded while they're still playing. I just don't understand the disconnect between Miami and Jimmy Butler. Like, it's crazy. There's been millions of people that have been wanting to get traded, and they don't have to go through suspensions like this. Anyways, shout out to Butler. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Jimmy Buckets, and I'm really interested to see where he goes. I really hope he doesn't go to LA, because I do not want any help for LeBron James and AD, because, you know, I'm a big LeBron hater. All right. So that is that. Hold on. I also have one more piece of sports news talking about the Super Bowl. Super Bowl suites are in high demand after Chiefs and Eagles win, and they say that the suites could cost millions. Taylor Swift has not secured her suite for the Super Bowl yet, but she needs to act fast. There are limited number of luxury boxes available, and it could cost a pretty penny. So apparently, in New Orleans, there's not as many suites, and celebrities, want to stay in suites. So they're jacking up their prices for the celebs who want suites. These people have the money. Whether in another stadium is $1 million or $2 million, it's just going to be a tax write-off for them anyway. So it's not a big deal. It's just more money for the stadium and the NFL. Anyways, just wanted to tell you guys that quickly. Thank you so much for kicking it with me on this Hump Day Wednesday. And I will see you for Thursdays and Fridays show. Y'all know that that's like my favorite shows, right? Because the weekend is so close. I get amped. Do you think I'm chatty today? Whoo, just wait until Thursdays and Fridays. Anyways, before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud podcast. If you are listening to this show, how do I start off? Sorry. If you are used to watching, here we go. As soon as I talk the weekend, I just get excited and forget what I say. If you are used to watching this show on YouTube and you can't always catch it on YouTube, just know that it's also available on all podcast platforms. Just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. That's for people who are in the car and you can't listen to it on YouTube. We're on podcast platforms. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to listening to the show on podcast platforms, please try to check me out on YouTube. It's my favorite platform for you guys to watch the show. Y'all know I'm really animated and I'm always moving around and I want you guys to see it. I put up pictures and videos. It's my favorite way to watch and digest the show. So check us out on YouTube. Just go to YouTube or open the app, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Please don't forget to do a few things. One, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Please please comment, and comment just for me because I love watching you guys comment and even back and forth and argue with me. And even if you want to drag me for a couple of things, I don't mind it too. I'll just talk about it in the next show. So please comment below. This is our show. This is your way to give us feedback. So comment below. And lastly, please try to share the episodes because that definitely helps in growing the channel. What else? If you want to reach me on social platforms, it's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. All right, that's it. I got to get out of here. I will see you for Tuesday's show. Have a great day. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.